Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2025 Ballon d'Or, F1 Ballon d'Or. I've spent every weekend over the last year rating the drivers 1 through 10, each race, each sprint, and the qualifying to match that. Using these ratings, I found the average for each driver, and now I've got a list from 21 to first, and we will go through those. I factored in overtaking, defending, where they started, where they finished. Also stuff like qualifying pace, race pace. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into the list. It's an obvious 21st. We find Jack Doohan. He had barely any time to perform, but nobody could perform in the French bin of the Alpine. He ended up with an average score of 3.25. Next, in 20th, his replacement, Franco Colapinto, finished a 4. Quite a similar season to Jack Doohan, but just over a longer span of time. 19th, Stroll, 4.7. Good start to the season, but continues to consistently disappoint us when compared to his teammate Alonso. Bortoletto in 18th with a 4.7. He showed us why he's a Formula 2 champ, but he struggled with consistency, and I think partly due to him being a rookie, but also the Sauber's performance throughout the season was rocky and inconsistent. So in 17th, we have Tsunoda with a 5.1. Never properly had a high or low this season. It was just a couple of, he finished in the points, and a lot of nothing. Just a lot of absolutely nothing. 16th, Lawson, 5.2. Start at Red Bull was poor, but he slowly dragged it up. 15th, Ocon, outshone by rookie teammate, but put out decent results like China, where he finished 5th and scored a 9.5. 14th, Gasly, did the best he could in the worst car by a mile, scored a 5.4 average. And 13th, 5.5 with Hulkenberg, similar to Gasly, with a bit more inconsistency, but then with that he got a huge podium at Silverstone as first, scoring a 10, which I think was very fair because he climbed up like quite a few places during the race. 12th, Sainz, 5.7, poor start in comparison to teammate, but huge recovery, especially at Qatar and Azerbaijan where he picked up podiums. And he scored a 9.75 at both. 11th, Alonso, 5.8. Alonso had a really unlucky start, but he brought it back with consistent results. And now we move into the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. This is normally where it gets a little bit spicy, but because there's obviously less than 30 nominees when in comparison to the normal Ballon d'Or, it doesn't mean as much. But 10th, we have a rookie of Behrman scoring a 5.9. He climbing the paces from the back, so a lot of overtaking, whilst putting Haas in good points like in Mexico. 9th, Hadjar with round 6, a great season as a rookie, whilst scoring a 10 in Netherlands for a podium, and he has secured himself at Red Bull for next season. That will be quite exciting, although I hope with the new regulations they've balanced out the car so it's easier for people that aren't Max to drive. 8th, Albon, 6.1. Consistent results such as Imola, Spa, Monza, and saw him challenging the likes of Ferraris and Mercedes for a lot of mostly the early part of the season, but for a lot of the season. He was like that one person from a lower team this season, like we've had in, was it 2020 or 2019 when Perez was in the Racing Point, like that sort of abnormal, Gasly in 2021 in the AlphaTauri, just that one person from a low midfield team challenging for higher points. 7th, Antonelli with a 6.6. He utilised Mercedes pace, for example, in Canada, finishing a P3. Although mistakes such as at Austria with the DNF showed his rookie inexperience, but I do think the right management, with the right team, with the right car, I think all three, Behrman, Hadjar, Antonelli, and even Bortoletto, they can all win championships. They're very promising looking rookies. I think they're the best batch of rookies we've had since maybe Lando and Russell. I spoke about that in one of my past videos. 6th, Hamilton 7th. Quite a poor season compared to expectations. There was talks of, oh, this is his redemption, this is his title challenge in the Ferrari, his whole performances. But he did good in comparison to the Ferrari's capabilities, and he did well in China's sprint, so, well, he won it. So, 5th, we have Charles Leclerc. Same issues with Hamilton, yet has obviously got a bit more of that Ferrari experience, but he outperformed him on many occasions. In places like Abu Dhabi, where he was challenging for a podium, and Mexico, which ended him up with a score of 7.6. 4th, Piastri, an 8.1, did really well to hold on to the lead for the majority of the championship. But the shaky weekend at Azerbaijan really led to inconsistency after it. He didn't really find his pace again till Qatar, and Australia was also a big mistake on his and lowered down his score to that 8.1. Close third though, with Russell an 8.2, the only person to challenge the top three, Piastri, Norris and Verstappen, outside those three, and showed title contenders properties. Like, he showed that like raw pace and like boshing out a result, like in Canada. Now, the winner of the F1 Ballon d'Or 2025 is Max Verstappen. Multiple results where he dominated the weekend. Monza, Brazil and Imola led to him getting 10s and ended up with an 8.8, which I think is very respectful. And if you think about it, if you had to 1 through 10 off the top of your head rate Verstappen's year, I would give him a 9. Okay, like, Austria wasn't his fault, but Spain, you wouldn't give him a 10 out of 10 season because of like the likes of Spain. And at the end of the day, he didn't win the championship. But congratulations to Lando Norris for his first Drivers' World Championship. But unfortunately, he claimed 2nd place due to poor results in China and the Texas sprint. We ended up with a very, very respectful 8.6. So he was closer to Verstappen than 3rd place Russell. And with that, we will wrap up the F1 2025 Ballon d'Or ceremony. Congratulations to Max Verstappen for the first ever, and we will see you in 2026, where I will continue to use up my free time, where I probably should be doing something a bit more productive. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see. I'm thinking of doing maybe like a couple of reaction videos rather than coming up with these random ideas, because these ideas are quite limited. Obviously, I can't just spring a new season. Maybe I could look at past seasons if you guys have a season you want me to look at. Maybe I could do it with football as well. And yeah, give this video a like, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.